Call to order the regular meeting of Dale City City Council for November 17th, 2025. Kelly, would you call the roll?
Councilman Tatum?
Here.
Councilwoman Brown?
Here.
Councilwoman Finch?
Here.
Councilman Dean?
Here.
Mayor Eason?
Mayor is here. Would you rise for the invocation, please? Lord, we come to you tonight, grateful for this country that we live in, grateful for our community. Lord, we're thankful for all the blessings and miracles that you've shown us. Lord, we ask that you be with us tonight, be with this council as we make decisions concerning the city of Dale City. Give us wisdom, understanding. Lord, give us discernment to help us to do what's best for the citizens of this city. Lord, we ask you to be with our president at this time and in a time of wars and rumors of wars. Lord, just give him good counsel and give him the wisdom to steer this nation efficiently and effectively through the troubled waters that we see throughout the world. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Micah, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
Sure. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. We have a proclamation to read, and I'm going to start off with it right now. Whereas Thanksgiving Day has long been a time for Americans to gather with family, friends, and neighbors to express gratitude for the many blessings and freedoms we enjoy. Whereas this observance reminds us to reflect upon the principles of kindness, generosity, and community that strengthen our nation and enrich our daily lives. And whereas the residents of Dale City have continually demonstrated a spirit of compassion and cooperation, supporting one another, volunteering their time, and giving back to those in need. And as we celebrate Thanksgiving, we are reminded of the importance of unity, understanding, and appreciation for all that we share as a community. And whereas this day offers an opportunity to pause, reflect, and give thanks for our families and our friends, our freedoms, and the privilege of living and working together in Dale City. Now therefore I, Floyd A. Eason, Mayor of the City of Dale City, do hereby proclaim Thursday, November 27th, 2025 as Thanksgiving Day in the City of Dale City, and encourage all residents to observe the day with gratitude, goodwill, and a renewed commitment to kindness and community. Signed, Floyd Eason, Mayor of the City of Dale City. Thanksgiving Day is a great day for family and friends, and I always look forward to the turkey. I might name my turkey this year, Ron. Guess what I'm going to name it? Moving on, public and council input. Is there anybody in the meeting that would like to address the council on a non-agenda item? I recognize Michael Unruh. State your name and address for the clerk, please.
My name is Micah Unruh, 3928 Thomas Drive. Mayor Eason and council members, thank you for the opportunity to address you tonight. Over the last week and a half, I've unwillingly become Facebook famous. I've been the target of a smear campaign targeting me in the city of Dale City by our fellow resident Robert Reynolds, AKA Bobby Ray Ray, and others. The things he has posted about me actually are not lies. However, he is presenting them in ways that insinuate misconduct by either myself or members of Dale City governance. My goal here over the next few minutes is to present to you and the citizens of Dale City the rest of the story. It is true that my previous employer was now Mayor Floyd Eason. He hired me on July 30th, 2012 to work his hazardous materials contract at Tinker Air Force Base. For the next 12 years and 5 months, I worked on every aspect of his company, learning and developing many valuable skills. I used those skills as well as others that I've developed throughout my other careers in my work daily. I left that company on December 31st, 2024, when Mr. Eason decided he was old enough to retire and close the company. By the way, I have spent 12 months of my career building and rebuilding highways in the state of Kansas. It is also true that I have a home inspector's license. When Mr. Eason closed his company, I pursued this line of work as a way to feed my family. I began studying for my license in January of this year, and after passing all tests and state requirements, I was awarded my license in April. It is also true that my wife and I bought our house in Del City from Eason Enterprises, LLC, in the summer of 2020. Her parents were in their waning years, and moving into this house gave my wife and I the opportunity to live beside them and care for them during that final 2 years of their life. For 2 years, my wife simply had to walk across the lawn to care for her parents. She cared for them day and night, 75 feet away. This couple celebrated 70 years of marriage only months before their passing. They lived the last 2 years of their lives in dignity, being cared for by people that love them. If Mr. Eason had not been willing to give up an established rental revenue stream, that would not have happened. It is also true that I began working for the City of Del City as the Streets and Drainage Supervisor on June 16, 2025, nearly 6 months after leaving Eason Enterprises. I noticed the job posting on Indeed.com while searching for home inspector jobs. I applied and sat for an interview before a panel of 5 regular city employees. After a second interview, I was offered and accepted the job. My responsibilities in this department are about organizing my hardworking team of 7 men into an efficient, effective workforce while managing vendors, setting up pavement condition indexes, budgeting for quality, effective road repairs, establishing and casting vision, and more. In only 5 months, we've completed major multi-lane road repairs, facilitated railroad crossing replacement at Eagle Lake, began a citywide restriping campaign, which I understand we may get to extend that tonight. We kicked off a citywide drainage canal cleaning project. And my friends, we are currently preparing to reopen North Vicky Drive from Reno to North 4th, hopefully by the end of the year. And now for my final truth. I was arrested in the summer of 2012. It was a result of a 20-year addiction to pornography. My friends, I regret that addiction, and I regret how deep and dark it took my life. On that day and the days following, I was actively making plans to take my own life. I have since fulfilled all things required of me regarding that day and have been clean and sober for 4,864 days. While I regret that time in my life, I am not ashamed of it because it was the catalyst that made me the husband, the father, the friend, and the employee that I am today. My Savior and Lord Jesus Christ used that day to launch a redemption in me that I can't fully understand this side of heaven. My marriage is the best it's ever been, and my wife and I get the opportunity to improve it every day. My relationships with my children and my extended family have never been better. I wake up every morning excited to be alive because I no longer have to live under that addiction that haunted me day in and day out. I meet with my counselor and recovery sponsor weekly and have for more than 13 years. And he tells others that I am the best example of recovery with whom he's ever worked. I'm honored to be chosen to live this redeemed life. I'm honored to tell my story tonight because it's a story that restores people, that restores relationships. And in the past 13 years, I'm so proud that my wife and I have had the opportunity to use this story to restore nearly 90 marriages across the globe. My friends, if you struggle tonight with the same addiction, I'll be happy to share my tools of success. I've used them and used them well, and they can help guide you through your own recovery journey. As I've posted on Facebook earlier this week, I have a story of recovery, a story of redemption, and a story of grace, and I'll be happy to buy your cup of coffee or your cup of tea if you'd like to hear more. Thank you for the opportunity to share. It's an honor to serve you, and it's an honor to serve the citizens of Del City who choose to make a positive difference in our community. Thank you.
Proud of you, Micah. I got a lump in my throat.
It's a sad day in Del City when our employees have to stand up and do that.
Absolutely.
He is an honorable man, and we're fortunate to have him on our team.
Absolutely. Let me get rid of this lump in my throat. All right. Let's move on. Thank you, Micah. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council on a non-agenda item? Seeing none?
Oh, there comes Ron.
What? Oh, I'm sorry, Ron. How did I overlook you?
I didn't get up fast enough. Ron McCall, 3403 South Wolford. Yeah, you're right. It's hard to follow that. But anyway. I guess I'm going to kind of violate the last section of this deal. Anyway, thank you for the newsletter that you guys put out. That was fantastic. It was much needed and very well done. So thank you very much. On another note, Townsend Grade School down on South Epperly has a number of kids down there. And a lot of them, I won't say are going hungry, but they could sure use some extra food. They've started a food bank called the Tiger Food Bank, and they're welcoming all kinds of donations, monetarily and food. If you bring food, make it non-perishable, and just take it into the office. They'll more than happy to take it, put it out there for the kids and the parents. Parents are encouraged to come in and pick up food as well. We need to help our community. We are a community. We're a family. We need to take care of family. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on non-agenda items? I don't see any. Oh, look, there's Brittany. Might as well laugh.
Thank you.
Mayor, your favorite word lately has become facts. You want the facts. We need to post the facts. The people need to know the facts. Let's get the facts.
Thank you.
So here is all of our facts about everything that's happening right now. I have taken the original presentation that I brought to you all whenever we first brought rate increases to you. Now that everything's been finalized, we've compiled it, made it a now, here and now. Here is what to expect beginning January 1st. So this should be able to help you answer any questions. This will be posted on our Facebook page and our website first thing tomorrow morning. If there's
Excellent.
anything that was not covered in here, please let me know. We can add whatever we need to. We think we got it all between Gandy, Kelly, and I, but if there's something that we overlooked, please let me know. But hopefully this is going to help alleviate a lot of questions.
Very good.
Here's your facts.
I like the colors. All right, appreciate that. I think communication is what's caused a lot of the problems, and this will help a lot. Thank you. Josh, do you want to say something, or are you just standing up?
I was just stretching my legs.
Okay.
Josh Schultz, 4321 Spiva Drive, Del City, Oklahoma. Just some quick things with the chamber. This Thursday, actually, I'll start first. Wednesday to Friday will be DelQuest this year. We're excited. We have 20 amazing students from Del City High School, Cristo Rey, Christian Heritage Academy, and Destiny Christian. We take them all over the city and, of course, to the state capitol to learn about leadership, learn about government, learn how things work. It is a fantastic program. We're really excited to have those students with us this week, so look forward to that. This Thursday is our business bite at Pho House. I will be at DelQuest, but I do still highly encourage you to go to Pho House at 11:30 and enjoy some amazing food from them. They were our dining in Del City for this month, so they're going. They've been open for 3 or 4 months now, and so we're just really excited to have them in Del City. The address is 4605 Southeast 29th Street in Del City. Our next Coffee Connection is going to be with the City of Del City. That's going to be Friday, December 5th at 8 a.m. at the Community Center. We do that on a Friday, the day of the tree lighting, so everybody can kind of get a sneak peek at the decorations and kind of learn a little bit, hear from our city officials, but also learn kind of the joy of the Christmas tree lighting that we're really excited for. Which brings me to December 5th. At 6 p.m. is going to be our mayor's tree lighting at the community center. That'll start at 6 p.m. We will light the Christmas tree. The kids will get to see Santa, and we'll hear from our choirs from Del City High School, Epperly Heights, and Townsend Elementary School.
We're also going to ask Councilman Tatum if he would sing a song for us like he did last year. This guy does a tremendous job on I'll Be Home for Christmas. It's amazing. Local talent.
I'm going to put it down on the agenda, Mayor.
Put it on the agenda.
I feel like, I'm pretty sure you remember Dean and I having a really good rendition. I think we were pretty good
Yes.
too. Right,
I
Dean?
remember you guys' performance. And I'm looking forward to Scott's.
If you don't know a lot about the tree lighting is an opportunity that the city's been putting on for several years. It's the mayor's tree lighting. And the big focus of it is not only just to bring in the holiday season, but also to give an opportunity for families and their kids to come and get presents from Santa.
Toys.
And support those that might be the only present they get that year. And it's just really important that we give back to the community. And it's one of the great things about Del City. And I think with Micah coming up here and speaking, and a lot of people don't realize a lot of the good things that go on here in Del City from its employees, from its council members, and just from some of our ordinary citizens and businesses that just support events like this, support the city, and want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to enjoy Christmas or whatever holiday that you celebrate. So we look forward to that. Hope to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And maybe me and the mayor will also have a duet as well. You never know.
I'll sing with you, Josh. I'm not proud.
All righty.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council on a non-agenda item? Seeing none, Councilman Tatum.
I'm still choked up a little from what Mr. Unruh said earlier.
Yep.
But I shouldn't comment at this time, but I would like to offer my support to you, Mr. Unruh. Thank you.
Councilman Brown.
Nothing at this time.
Councilman Finch.
I had several citizens stop by the flower shop this week. I just want the public to know that I'm always there. They're always welcome to stop by and talk to me or call. I'm always available. Also, I went with the mayor and his wife this week to the Shine event. They had a Thanksgiving dinner, and it was a lot of fun. We met judges, politicians, Oklahoma City politicians. It was a lot of fun. It's a great program that helps people work their way through the system without having to go to jail. So they can stay at home work, do their job, and then on the weekend, they go in and do some community service. If you don't know about the program, look it up. It's a great way to help out. And also volunteer. They're always looking for volunteers to help them supervise. And then no one's mentioned the veterans program we did. It turned out very well. We had several show up, not as many as we've had in the past, but it was a great program. We also went to the American Legion VFW ceremony afterwards. Very patriotic. And that's all I have.
I got to go back and retract a little bit, or go back a little bit and talk about that SHINE program. These are nonviolent offenders that will actually come into the community, and they do things like they'll pick up trash, they clean up a blighted area, they'll remove graffiti from walls, all at no cost to the city. We can call the SHINE program, and they'll send volunteers out. And the benefit for the people that are actually doing the work is they get a chance to take some pride in community enhancement, and they can stand back and say, that looks better, I did that. It gives them a sense of accomplishment. And I've heard of a lot of people that have gone through that program, and it helps them get started on the right path in their community. Commissioner Mon started that program, I think it was 15 years ago, is that right? About 15 years ago, and it has blossomed into an amazing program. The city of Dale City uses it on a regular basis. They come out and work in your community garden.
Yes, I've taught several how to plant seeds.
Yeah, so there you go. It's a great program, and I was honored to be there, and they recognized the city of Dale City as being one of the first cities to help accommodate and initiate this SHINE program, so very proud of that. Councilman Dean, tell us something good.
Nothing good. I had my speech a while back, and when it said that, we should treat our neighbors as we'd like to be treated ourselves. Do unto others as you would to yourself. Since that's not working, perhaps we should use our billboards and put these people who like to go and put our employees at the same disadvantage. We can put up their picture, their name, what they do, what their pay is. But as you know, we're much more professional than that. And it's just a shame that people don't realize that, they're doing this to real people. Nobody is without faults, without problems. And so, again, I just ask for everybody to just be reasonable and present real questions so that we can go and do the different answers. Speaking of which, is I got to review some answers that was presented from Mr. Fugate's town hall, and they look great. I think that those should help out. They're supposed to be going on the website or in different places. Mm-hmm. And so that should really help out these questions. We're not here to go and keep secrets from people. Anything that's appropriate, we will put out. But things that are not appropriate, as we got to hear tonight, and plus with other employees, again, would you really want that to be put out for yourself? And so we'll do whatever we can that's legitimate, and things that aren't, is they stay confidential as they should, just like at any business. Just because we're a public government funded, all the rest, and we have open stuff, there are stuff that is still confidential, and such as, different meetings that we have to go to, that's executive session, that is for reasons that if things got out, such as economic-wise, would endanger us, or lawsuits, or this and that. So there are things we can't say, but the things we can, we do. And obviously personnel stuff, just like you wouldn't want your own stuff, your own taxes being published, we don't. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Dean. We've got a couple of things going on, and one is Mr. Tatum over here has agreed to head up a, shall we call that a, what did I call that before? A panel?
Permits and planning?
Panel. Oh,
A
no.
panel? Oh, yeah.
Panel. That was the word I was looking for. You're going to head up a panel that's going to look into permitting and find ways to streamline and make it go faster, better, more efficient, easier for the applicant. You're also going to be looking at other cities in the surrounding area to see what their procedures are, and we will plagiarize and use the best possible systems to make our system even better. But you've agreed to head up that panel, and I thank you for that. Councilman Dean is looking into the code enforcement portion, make sure that it's equally applied to everybody, make sure that it's reasonable, and he's going to be heading up a panel to look into that. And Pam, are you going to take over the economic development? You're going to be looking into the procedures and policies and what we're doing and see if there's ways to make it better? And am I correct in understanding with the city manager that you're going to cooperate with these three panels and instruct your employees to accommodate and cooperate with them?
I'll be having a discussion with you all, yes, sir.
Okay, we'll have that discussion. I'm not leaving you out, Claudia. We know that you're active in ACOG, and we know that you are seeking out grants and looking for money and benefits for the city. So everybody has something to do. So we are up here working. By the way, I noticed a comment someplace that talked about the council members lining their pockets with money. We make $100 a month. Yeah, you missed out on it. These guys are doing all these jobs. Councilman Dean is our appointee to ComCD, and he attends the meetings. ComCD is the governing body for Lake Thunderbird. The city of Del City owns a portion of the water supply at Lake Thunderbird, and he attends all those meetings and watches after our city's interest at those meetings. He doesn't receive any extra pay. He gets $100 a month, just like everybody else. Pam is vice mayor, and when I'm out of town or busy in another position, she fills in for me. She attends meetings, she solves problems, and sometimes you just play the Shell answer man. Remember the gas station Shell? And they answered, and she makes $100 a month for that. That's before taxes. And you sit on the board chamber. You take care of our community garden. You ramrod that thing. So that's pretty much. Claudia goes to ACOG meetings and other meetings and is out there looking for ways to earn extra benefits for the city of Del City. She makes $100 a month. Scott, we don't know what he does other than he sings like a bird. No, he does plenty. He's got his plate full too. He makes $100 a month before taxes. So that's what we're lining our pockets with. And if anybody has a problem with that, I'll be happy to talk to them about it. Let's move on. We're up to item number 5, city manager's report.
There we go. Okay, a couple of things to go back in time on, and then we'll move forward with some other areas. But I do want to, excuse me, I've still got the lump in my throat from Micah too, it sounds like.
Would you like some water?
Thank you, sir. I did want to give a special thank you to Major Mike Arterberry. He celebrated his retirement from the City of Del City Police Department on November the 8th. After 21 years of service, so I just wanted to make sure that he knows how much he is appreciated and how much we thank him for his service. So thank you, Major Arterberry, for your 21 years. Ms. Pam, thank you for mentioning the Veterans Day ceremony. It was an incredible day. I greatly appreciate everyone that helped make that possible. CJ and Cameron at the Community Center were instrumental, as well as Karina from the Economic Development team. So Kyle, thank you to you and your team for taking care of that for us. And Josh, thank you so much for helping me line up the Del Airs. They were fantastic as always, so I really appreciate that. And a special thank you to the VFW and the American Legion for being able to be our honor guard and be able to read the names of the fallen. We always appreciate them. So thank everyone that came out to the Veterans Day ceremony. That is a wonderful tradition that I greatly appreciate that we continue.
Senator Mark Mann was the speaker.
Yes, absolutely. He did a wonderful job. We had a gentleman from Tinker that was going to speak that could not because of the government shutdown, and so I love how he made that very clear right from the get-go that, well, they wanted somebody else, but they got me. So he's a wonderful, absolutely wonderful person. So I do greatly appreciate Senator Mann for taking care of that for us. I also wanted to thank Representative Fugate for having his town hall on November the 8th, and getting us those questions. We greatly appreciate that. As you mentioned, Mayor, and as everyone here has discussed, Brittany specifically, whenever she brought up, we are wanting to make sure the facts get out there. This information is open to the general public, and I apologize for any communication or lack thereof that has happened during these past couple of weeks. We are getting that information out there to you, but I do want to thank everyone on the Del City side. Thank you so much to Kelly, Kyle, Brittany, and everyone that put that information together for these answers, and also to Andy and his group of 6 that were able to get all that information documented and submitted to us and get the clarifications out there. So that information is available not only on the tables here if you'd like them, but it is being posted on our website, and that information is being shared very soon. Oh, it is ready now. Thank you so much. It is ready to go on the website under our residents frequently asked questions section. Couple of things upcoming. We do have, we've been requested from the Midway Village Neighborhood Watch at 7 o'clock, so I know that the mayor and Scott will be joining me tomorrow night at 7 so that I can give an update to that. Oh, surprise, huh?
Either the mayor or the vice mayor will be there.
Oh, how about that, huh? So I do look forward to that, but thank you all for the invite to allow us to come and speak to you all. Josh, we are all excited about DelQuest coming up. Thursday's going to be a fun day. We have a PR event for them, followed by police and fire. And then a reminder to everyone on council that we do have the leadership dinner that's going to be at, thank you, at 6. So we do hope everyone can attend the leadership dinner at 6 o'clock this coming Thursday. Last reminder I have for everyone, City Hall is closed on Thanksgiving Day. It is a holiday. We will be closed along with the Friday following after. So the November the 27th and 28th, we will be closed for the holidays.
Trash will be picked up on Friday. Residential sanitation routes for Thursday will be picked up on Friday. They will run in and run.
Awesome. For those that couldn't hear Miss Brittany in the back, that sanitation routes from Thursday will run on Friday. So that would be Ward 4? Yes. So, sir, Ward 4 will get picked up on Friday.
And you say, okay, thank you.
Okay. And the last thing I want to say, Micah, thank you so much for your speech. It was incredible. And I do want to say this on behalf of the city of Del City to all of our employees, because many people have been going through some things on social media, and I'm going to tell you from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate every single one of you. I know this city council appreciates every single one of you. You show up every day. You work your butts off every day. Your salaries are posted online every day, and I'm here to let every resident, business, and customer know it is not enough. But these people work for these rates, and they come in, they work their butts off, and they do amazing work each and every day. So I want you to know that as the city manager from this city council, we appreciate each and every one of you. We are going to work through this, and we are going to continue to do amazing things for the city of Del City. That's all I have, sir.
All right. Let's move
Department
on.
reports.
Oh,
City clerk's report, ditto to everything that you said about our employees. Obviously, they put in more hours than people see, so I appreciate you recognizing them. Without them, we would not get nearly all the things done that we do. So wear many, many hats. So thank you to all of our employees for sure. Sales tax is up $110,000, $110,584.17, which is a difference of 10.05%. Use tax is down $19,787.46, which is a negative 12.71% difference. The tobacco tax is up $74.93, which is a difference of 1.09%. Hotel and motel taxes up $2,721.38 for a difference of 18.22%.
City Attorney, can you follow that up?
Not tonight.
All right. Director Gandy, anything from your team? Director Parrott, anything you'd like to say? Any other department heads hiding in the wings? All right, that's everything.
move on to item number 6, minutes. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the council November 3rd, 2025. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. The motion carries. Move on to item number 7. Yahoo! I've been waiting for this one. You got cake to celebrate or something tonight? Expense, street striping replacement, Action Safety Supply. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve with modifications, or deny an expense to remove and replace existing street striping on Southeast 15th Street between Sunny Lane and Bryant for a cost not to exceed $48,449.96. It will include crosswalks and stop bars on the east leg of Bryant, all 3 legs of Townsend, and all 4 legs of Sunny Lane. Authorize mayor and/or city manager to endorse same. Do I hear a
I
motion?
make a motion that we discuss item number 7.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
We need to vote on the
Take
discussion.
the vote.
Yeah, we need to vote on discussion.
Let's see, let me write that back down. Take the vote. Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. The discussion is now open.
We brought this to you all, I believe, back in September. It was tabled at that time because there were some questions on the numbers and the measurements. I will defer those questions to Micah, but I just want to let everyone know that we submitted all of this over for an ACOG grant that Councilwoman Brown had sent over, along with barricades, cones, things like that. I'm just looking for approval in case we do not get approved for that grant. We can move forward because the complaints about this road continue to come in daily. It is desperately needed.
Those are a lot of my senior residents in my ward that keep
Yes.
calling me. They want this done.
Yes, absolutely. So Micah, you can answer. I know Councilman Dean's going to have questions.
Yes, sir.
So the question is about distances that's on this.
Yes.
It appears that the first bid, it does have 16,000 or 17,000 linear feet of 4-inch wide stripes, which I would imagine should be the 2 yellow stripes and 1 white stripe on one side and 1 white stripe on the other.
Yes, sir. So you're right in assuming that a yellow stripe down and a yellow stripe down back is only 10,000 feet. So where did we get to 16,000?
And then the other 2,
Right.
which would be alternating,
Right.
which doesn't have this part. So I think that number appears to be correct. It just doesn't have yellow and white next to it like the other bid does.
Okay. So you're looking at the action safety, is that right?
No, I'm looking at Rudy's.
At Rudy's, okay. So here's what we have. They're both within, on the yellow striping, they're both within about 1,000 feet of each other. And so when we look at 1 mile of road, we've got, on yellow striping, we've got 5280 down, 5280 back. What we're not taking into consideration is the turn lane delineations. And so after the last meeting, when this was tabled, I walked a mile in your shoes, literally. I went out and I took a rolling wheel to every yellow line in the delineation, and I came up with exactly 6,000 feet on the money. And so if you're worried about that delineation, and what both of these companies do and how they estimate is they get on good old Google Earth.
Yeah.
And they run that measurement tool along Google Earth, and they measure out everything, and they're pretty spot on. I like Action Safety because I've dealt with them. I dealt with them with the school striping, and I know there's some dissatisfaction in that, and I can explain some of that to you. But at the same time, their state pricing, Rudy is not state pricing. Rudy is in most areas higher than state pricing. So we're getting state contract pricing through Action, as well as I have a working relationship with their foreman, and he came out and redid 2 of your school zones for free.
Right, but of course that needed to be done because it wasn't
Right.
done properly.
Right. And-
So the question is that you have, I believe on Rudy's, the number 1 for the 17,000 feet would be for both the yellows, the 2 yellow stripes, and then each side has the white stripe. So I think that item number 1 really does cover item number 31 and 32 of actions. And then on actions, it has a 4-inch black line. And I don't understand what a black line is, but on Rudy's, it does have a black shadow. What is the black shadow about?
In rainy conditions on concrete, you don't see white lines. And so you see black lines. And so it's giving us a multi-season opportunity to have striping on our street.
And I've seen that recently, so,
Yes.
okay. And then we have the 8-inch, so what I just keep seeing, Mr. Micah, is that I think that Rudy's has everything that's on it. Do you see anything that's really missing off of Rudy's bid?
I'm not comfortable with Rudy's because of how they've lumped some things together. I feel much more confident with Action, simply because they've separated things out. I'll tell you this, we did the school zones, and that was approved at $32,000. They charged us $16,000. So I got a 50% discount because their estimations were overestimated. And I asked Mr. Cortland, who did this estimate for Action, have you overestimated my street striping? And he said, there's a great possibility I have. He said, I typically will overestimate just to make sure that the budget we give you covers everything we need to do. And so I fully expect this to come in at less than $48,500.
Do you know how much it would cost for us to remove our own pavement markings?
We don't have equipment in the condition that would allow us to do that right now. And let me explain their system. They have a ride-on piece of equipment that has sharp blades that are going to get in. It also removes the dust as it grinds. And so literally there's not a dust cloud or a very minimal dust cloud. And so the effect on the residents who are still driving that street is a much safer effect. We don't have that opportunity. We have a skid steer mounted grinder. And I fully believe that if the plumbing goes bad in my house, I'm going to hire a plumber. I'm not going to hire a carpenter. And I would really like to see, I've seen Action and work, and Rudy's the same. I love Rudy. They're a great company. They stand for a lot of the same things I do, and they have a lot of the same equipment that Action has. So if you choose either one, I'm not going to balk. We're going to get the job done.
Have we used Action before in the past?
We used Action for the school striping this year that we did in a hurry in September to try to get it done before school. So yes, we did.
Is that the only thing Action has been used for the city?
In my duration in the last 5 months, yes.
I also had a question. Can you explain to the council what multi-polymer paint is? I understand that in the past we've had street striped and the paint they've used wears very quickly.
Yes.
Explain multi-polymer and how long it's supposed to last.
So we had a vendor, I believe last year or 2 years ago, that used paint. He went to Sherwin-Williams, he bought a 5-gallon bucket and came out and applied it. That wore very quickly. Now we have two different road surfaces here. We have asphalt, which 29th, Sunny Lane, that's all asphalt. That gets coated or striped with, it just left me. Let me move to concrete, it'll come back. When we stripe concrete, we use epoxy, and that's the multi-polymer. It's epoxy. And the, I can't think of the word. Do you know it?
For the paint?
Thermoplastic.
Thermoplastic.
Thermoplastic. Okay,
Very
so
good.
when we use asphalt, when we're striping asphalt, thermoplastic is the one to use because it comes on hot, you lay it down hot, it melts into the asphalt, it becomes one with the asphalt. And so when we look at 29th, which we just did a few years ago, and we look at Sunny Lane, which we just did a few years ago, that is thermoplastic. And so you'll notice that there may be little cracks in it. That's how you identify the thermoplastic from the epoxy. Thermoplastic does not melt into concrete, and it will flake off faster than epoxy will.
It should be like
50. Does the multi-polymer have any reflective qualities to it?
Yes. After they spray it while it's still wet, they throw in glass beads, and they put down gallons and gallons and gallons of glass beads.
And my last question is, whichever
That should be like
company's chosen for this, will you personally supervise the work that's being done? And the reason I ask that is because if you look around the city with some of these other companies we've used in the past, lines will be askew, curve on turn arrows won't be lined up.
Yes, sir.
But I want to make sure that there's
So I think
somebody
if
in
we
the
have
city.
the police come out and do a field sobriety before they lay down the lines, we'd be much better off. But yes, I will be supervising, and I'll be in contact with the foreman every day they're on the job.
Is that test for you or for the contractor?
That is the contractor. I'm sober.
All right.
What other questions can I answer?
I'm still not very comfortable about the fact, I think it's great that they may have overestimated and you have a pretty good feeling that, you know, this is probably overestimating. Maybe they can try to get closer to that number, so then that way we don't have to just kind of guess. And then, you know, kind of just leaving a gap to say, oh, well, you know, we could have saved. Just more, I understand that it's great that he could give us a discount later, or that it's not fully estimated correctly. I think a better correct estimate is always going to be better,
So
instead of just
we're-
waiting and guessing to see if it would be or not.
Yes, I understand, and I appreciate that. My concern with Rudy is that they've underestimated. And I believe they've underestimated at a higher cost per unit than what we have on the state contract with Action. I think Action will come in under, but I think Rudy will come in over. And if they come in over, where do we go?
It
Where-
does say on here that it does not include the message boards or the arrow boards. So that's something that the Action Safety actually has in their bid. So apparently they've left some of the stuff out that we actually need for the arrows and
And-
message boards.
And what I found, Ms. Brown, is at the end of Action Safety's one, it says all quantities are estimated and will be invoiced at actual quantities removed and installed. So that's what Micah was telling us is that instead of measuring every last thing out, they've come up with the worst case scenario. This is a not to exceed this price. But whenever they go out there and they're going to realize that you have two yellow lines, so at 12,000, and Mike will be able to go through each one of these items and bring 16,500 down to 12,000. And then that part goes down the same way for the white lines, or whichever ones, every last part of this. So I now understand why they've chosen this, but.
And if I could, I've driven off, we've all driven that intersection like a lot. The westbound leg approach to Sunny Lane while you're on 15th is still in good shape. And so that may not be, we may not do the turn signal or turn lane delineators there. We will do the crosswalk. That crosswalk's horrible. But the turn lane delineators are still in pretty good shape. So we may shave that off. And that's a game time decision, if you will.
And I'm not familiar with the term. It says all crosswalks installed will be continental style. Can you explain that?
Yes, so there's, I'm not as familiar with that, but from what I understand, continental are the perpendicular bars to the crosswalk as you go across. Somebody, I was explaining this to one of our employees, and she said, oh, like the Eagles picture. Or not the Eagles, the
Beatles.
The Beatles picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, brilliant. Now, she's too young to know the Beatles, but she knew the picture. And she's like, yeah, like the Beatles crosswalk on their album. I'm like, okay, that's a continental. Yes, sir.
Nothing to do with breakfast.
But we could get out there and cook something if you'd like.
Any more questions for Micah? Micah, we're going to trust you to make sure that they do us a good job.
If you approve it, I'll be on it.
Okay, thank you. If we're done with discussing this, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve
Action.
Action
At a cost.
Action Safety Supply Company
Second.
at a cost not to exceed $48,449.96. Authorize mayor and city manager to endorse same.
Pam has the second. All right. Thanks for explaining all that, Michael. I am anxious to see those new stripes on the pavement. We have needed this way too long. And hopefully we can move on and get the next section that we need to do after they finish this one.
It's going to look really pretty on social media.
Okay. You post it. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Let's take the vote. Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. Proud to do it. You got a bunch more land to stripe, Micah. Yes, sir. All right. Proud of it. Good. Move on to item number 8, discussion only, ordinance, mobile food vendors, Chapter 10, creating Article 6. Discussion, consideration, possible acts to approve or deny holding a discussion only to introduce an ordinance amending Chapter 10, license and business regulations by creating Article 6, mobile food vendors in the City of Dale City Code of Ordinances, providing definitions, license requirements, operating standards, enforcement, and penalties, declaring a repealer, and providing severability. Do I hear a motion to open the discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve opening a discussion for mobile food vendors.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. The motion carries. The discussion is now open. Who's bringing this? Andrew?
Good evening, Council. This is an ordinance to just make us in line with the state's Food Truck Freedom Act. We don't get much, but it is to update us to conform with the state's act. I'm open to any questions or concerns.
I'd have a question. Several companies have come to me because they'd like to set up food trucks in Dale City, but in the past, we've had some very restrictive requirements for them to do so. Is this going to change any of that?
Yes, sir. So the only requirements now are they have to be licensed through the state, and then they can be anywhere, as long as they have property owner permission.
But they still have to get a city permit, is that correct?
No, sir, no city permits, just the state permit.
Just the state permit
Yes, sir.
only? Okay.
How often is the state permit renewed?
I believe yearly.
In order for them to come into our city, do they have to report to the city and fill out any paperwork at all?
No, ma'am. As long as they have property owner permission, thank you, property owner permission, then they are good to go. The state will handle remittance of state sales tax and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So are they going to be inspected to ensure that they do have proper certifications and license? And
Yes, sir.
who takes care of that?
That would be the state. They actually have a place set up that I found out today that is inspecting them currently. But that would all be through the state.
How do we know as citizens of Dale City that the people that are selling us our hot dogs are fully licensed? Are they going to be displaying something?
Yep, they get stickers that should be on their trucks, so we just need to look for those stickers.
Okay.
The fire marshal will be also inspecting to make sure those stickers are present as they
He's the entity that makes sure, that, yeah, all right.
Not code enforcement, correct?
No, sir.
Okay.
So this is for for food trucks that aren't already parked on somebody's land?
This is for all food trucks.
For all food trucks?
Yes, sir.
And so you had said something earlier about that it did not apply if it was on somebody's private land.
As long as they have permission, it does.
Okay, so you're,
Can't come to like Meadowbrook Oil and park a truck without the owner of that property saying, yes, you can.
okay.
That would be something the fire marshal would look into.
And is this a similar ordinance for other cities?
So this is actually the state regulation. So we are actually just matching the state. So all municipalities in the state should be in compliance with this.
I would assume that the state would also have a list of their food trucks that sign up for licensing and maybe have it on their website that they are up to date with their licensing and making sure that they do and have passed inspection. Do you know if that's going to be on their website?
I am not sure about that on the state side.
And how much are we going to be charging food trucks to do this?
So this is the state, so whatever the state charges. The city can't charge anything because we don't have any regulations.
So if I could clarify, so the city can regulate if they're trying to do it like on a city park, if they're in a city function, then the city can put minimal requirements on there. But the purpose of this was that across the state, food trucks are complaining that they can't operate in municipalities. So the state has usurped our authority, and they have made a uniform requirements, and then they've come in and said that as a city, there are certain things we can't do. We can't force them to get another license here. We can't force them to show insurance. We can't force them to do those things. We can do minimal requirements, and we can regulate what happens on city property. And that's why he keeps talking about, as long as they have owner approval, we don't have any say in that. So as long as they're on private property and visibly displaying their permit, they have the right to do that.
So as we're discussing this for this part, thank you for bringing this up to us beforehand. I think we need to be careful if we're considering, which you haven't said, charging any fees for, let's just say, going to Ray Trent Park. If we charge like a fee of $100 or $200 for something, just let me finish. This is just so that you guys know that don't do this, because if you did that, then most food trucks would go, well, I can't be assured I'm going to make that much plus the profit, and they won't come. So we would be limiting ourselves off of this. So staying with the state standard, I mean, I think that's a really good idea and good way to go.
The only thing that would concern me would be the inspections. I assume if someone obtains a state license, they have to pass their health department requirements,
Yes, sir.
right? But who's going to verify that? If they come to Del City, would the fire marshal be able to go out there and verify that they have the proper certification?
Yes, Kyle had mentioned earlier that the fire marshal will verify that those stickers are on the trucks when they come into Del City.
So I
Okay,
wanna-
not
I wanna-
just the state license,
so I wanna-
but-
Can I answer that question? Because I think we're talking apples and oranges on this. So the only thing that we have the authority to do is to verify that they have the state license visibly there. We cannot go back in and re-inspect. We cannot for ourselves determine whether we think they comply with that. If they have that license, we can verify from the state that the license is valid, but we have no authority after that if it's on private property.
Revenue, sales tax revenue from food trucks that come to our city, do we have any assurances that the sales tax will be credited to the city, or is that just on an honor system?
The state will remit that to the city after the fact.
To be honest, I don't mind it. Since we are discussing, I'm glad that the state has taken the responsibility off of municipalities, because I'm sure everybody has different ideas on how to handle food trucks. We want to be as friendly as possible, but we also want to protect our community to make sure that they are passing their licensing standards and inspections. And maybe after this, we can have like a food truck day or a food truck type situation, maybe every other month or something. But I would definitely like to see more. Maybe more will come.
Any more questions?
So on this one, so the registration fee, so there's a non-refundable annual registration fee of $25. So if you don't have, so we find it, we don't use food trucks, especially mobile ones, very often. So that's going to be one more thing to get finished, get done. So in article, section, page 22 of the backup, and this is in C, the registration fee. So you do have a registration fee to go and pay the city each time.
It would just be a yearly registration fee, and that's
So
just
do we have a registration fee now?
no, we don't have any food truck permits now.
And so,
Contractors have to get a city
I know,
permit
right,
number.
a contractor does, but again, these aren't, it just seems it seems like we're adding, unfortunately for whether it's the $25 or not, You just end up having an extra burden for these food trucks that we have difficulties coming here. You know, I wish we had Josh here, but Josh can tell us that it's hard to get food trucks to come here, and it's like going, well, crap, you know, I don't have one, you know, I don't have a Dell City one. And so that is a concern. There are requirements here. My thought would be is leave all this stuff alone, but, you know, I'm looking for the enforcement side, which would be fine. So, you know, this is that if our fire marshal goes out there and finds that the food truck, which is now legally came in here, even though that they didn't register with this, they came in here, they don't have the food truck license, then we get to fine them $500 or whichever one. You know, this does give us a way to go and penalize people who are not doing correct and not having, you know, the Department of Health license. But if we go and make things more difficult, I can tell you that I know that it's difficult to get food trucks in here, and any additional thing is going to make it even more difficult.
Andrew, do you know how much other cities charge for permits?
Not off the top of my head, I'm terribly sorry.
And I don't think it's really the charge, because
Can
I
you
mean,
find
$25 is very reasonable, right? We would all just toss out $25 to do it. It's just an extra a step.
Right, I know when we first started this program, it's back the previous administration, but I think that they said it was $200 or $250 just for a food truck to come into our city. That's why we lost a lot of food trucks coming to our area. I don't think $25 is a breaking deal if they want to come into our city and sell food.
Can you investigate what other cities do?
I can.
And I can answer that
Find
question.
out and bring that back to us, will you?
Of course.
I can answer that question in a way. So the state has put out some guidance to cities in formulating these. Most cities right now are working at either creating or redoing these ordinances. And the guidance that's been put out is it's a nominal fee. So it's to cover the administrative cost. 25 is their recommendation. They've authorized up to 50, but they are strongly discouraging anything over 50. It is just to recoup
25 is reasonable.
It's just to recoup the administrative expense associated with it.
Yep.
And that's where I would say that 25 is a reasonable fee in
Yep.
that manner.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
What do you get for your $25? Do you get a sticker?
What's that?
Do you get a sticker, or do you get anything for your $25?
It just, you can be in the city. We don't have.
So we don't, so
I would-
for citizens or for even for the, you know, even
I
for
would
the-
think it would be a tool to help the fire marshal. Everybody that buys that $25 permit will get on a list that the fire marshal can pull up his laptop and look immediately and see if they've
if they have.
covered their city permit.
Yeah.
But it gives a way just to help track who's coming.
Yeah.
And who's legal and who's not.
Along those lines, sir, we will, because of the administrative fee, we will be keeping a log of all vendors on our software if we're not already doing that. Is that correct?
We definitely can.
But you're not doing that right now?
We are not doing that right now.
Okay,
No, ma'am.
I think it would be best that we do, like they say, keep a copy of their valid license, have their proof in our own file, their contact information, their registration information, and all of that should be kept now. Since state is going to be pretty much doing it, I think it would be great if we can have a little bit more control of the names and the businesses that are coming in. And speaking of a sticker, maybe we can create our own just Dell City sticker. That would make it easier for fire marshal. Thank you.
Yeah, we could tag them with a sticker, yeah.
If a food truck, though, doesn't register with us or lets their registration lapse, is there an enforcement mechanism? Does the fire marshal shut them down?
There are enforcement measures. We can't necessarily shut them down. They just can't be in Dell City.
So they would just simply have to move on?
Yep, just outside of the 7 square miles.
Under section 1096, it says, any violation of this article shall be a $500 offense, and most likely daily. So, yes, you can not only probably shut them, you might not be able to shut them down, but you can sure fine them.
Yep.
Or require them to get their license.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
If we close the discussion, then just be advised that on the next council agenda, whether it be special or regular, we'll be bringing this up for a vote to actually initiate the ordinance.
I think for helping Andrew would be, so we're okay with the 25, basically, we're okay with this.
Yep.
Yep. Yes, so, yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to close the discussion.
Make a motion to close the discussion.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. The public discussion portion on number 8 is now closed. Let's move on to item number 9, discussion only, ordinance, temporary land use, Chapter 16, creating Article 8. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve or deny holding a discussion only to introduce an ordinance amending Chapter 16, planning and development by creating Article 8, temporary land use of the City of Dale City Code of Ordinances, providing for permit requirements, definitions, application procedures, standards, regulations, departmental review, revocation, and related provisions, declaring repealer and providing severability. Do I hear a motion to open a discussion only?
I'll make a motion to open to discussion only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. The public discussion is now open.
Good evening. This is an ordinance for temporary land uses. This will actually replace our citizens activity permit. It will require all temporary land uses to come to the city council for approval. That will help with visibility of events. We will also be requiring traffic control plans. If there is any proposed street closures, that will help different departments figure out emergency routes or different ways around the city. And that's about all of the major things. I'm open to any questions or concerns.
I've seen some posts on social media saying that this is going to allow people to have loud parties all night long, blah, blah, blah. Talk about the requirements.
Yeah, of course, there will be conditions. It wouldn't be all night long. There still will be requirements and regulations.
Same curfews as we have now.
They might be able to be changed, but that is completely up to you since it will come to council. We do have noise ordinances. There will be conditions associated with each TLU that will have to be abided by.
So this might cover a restaurant who wants to get a TLU to put chairs and tables outside of their restaurant on the sidewalk, but that would still have to come before the council before that's approved even?
Yes, sir. So since they're taking the parking lot, that's a temporary land use. They would need to come here, and then you guys could approve it or do whatever you would want to it.
Harbor Freight has temporary parking lot sales, and they do it on a fairly regular basis. Are you saying this would require them to get a temporary land use to have a parking lot sale?
If it takes up the parking lot, then yes. If it's just on the sidewalk on their business, then no.
I noticed Home Depot is in Midwest City. Never mind. Sorry. Okay.
So there was looked like a movie set crew that was going on, so would that also require a temporary?
Too soon, Michael, too soon.
Well,
I'm
they
unsure
shouldn't have
what
had the
movie
trucks
set,
and the trailers out there.
but yes.
They would have to too.
This really wouldn't apply to, this wouldn't really apply to a residence that's having a birthday party or,
It would. Yes, sir.
Really?
Especially if they were closing streets down.
oh, if they're shutting down the block for like a block party, I can see. But if you're just having your kid's birthday party at
No,
your
sir.
house,
You're good.
this is not affected.
No, sir.
If you're having Thanksgiving dinner and your relatives come over, this is not affected.
Unless you want to close your
I'm
street.
saying that because that's the kind of questions we get asked.
Yes, sir. As long as there's no street closure, you are good for that.
Does this affect privately owned parking lots?
Yes, because it's a temporary land use. So let's say that Walls, since we were talking about Walls, wants to have an ice cream stand out in their parking lot. They would still need to get a TLU for that.
So right now, if Brahms wants to have that out in their parking lot, they just come up here and get a permit for it. How long does that take now?
A permit for a citizens activity permit? Anywhere between 5 and 7 business days, 5 to 10 business days.
Okay, but now it could take up to 2 weeks before the council hears it, correct?
Yes, so there are different submission guidelines. So for minor events, it's 30 days, and for major events, it's 75 days. That gives us enough time to do departmental review as well as bring it to you guys.
And how long after council approval would they get their permit?
As long as you guys approve it, they can do it right afterwards.
Right afterwards, okay.
Is there a reason why you're thinking about having the council have to approve a parking lot sale for Harbor Freight?
No, so this is just for visibility of events, not only for the city, but also for residents.
Right, but again, if you do that, yeah, I'm dealing with something like this right now. This is finally get everything finally done, and then all of a sudden it's going to have to go to the city and probably the city council, and it's like, well, since they don't meet this week, it's going to be 2 more weeks. So I don't understand why, the city, why it needs to come to the council. The city manager should be able to, city manager as a deputy should be able to make the decision about whether or not something like this would need to come to the council. Because again, one of the big things that we'd like to just keep trying to work with the city on is making things as prompt as possible, as straight line. And so having a requirement for it to see us to go and have a block party that, that Ron and Dan Wall has put up, they decide to use it over at the park. And so again, there's some things that we don't necessarily need to be advised of. But I think that, the city manager would have the ability to say, hey, before I sign off on this, maybe I should run this by the council and run it through the council on a very special project. But for every one of them, I think it's too much.
I think we could build into this ordinance a vehicle that would allow some pop-up, short-term,
easy things,
sporadic type thing that's coming up, that the city manager, if it's going to occur before the next council meeting, he should be able to give temporary permission for something like this. And we can build that into the ordinance. That's why we're discussing right now how we want it to look. So I think as long as we build a safety valve, some sort of system, that if it's coming up before the next council meetings.
If I could, I think there's nothing to consider I think there's different degrees here. I think a street closure is different than somebody using their parking lot. I think a street closure is more valid to come to the council, that you guys discuss that. I think if Harbor Freight wants to have a sale in their parking lot, I think that should be an administrative issue, and I think they should be able to do it the next day if they want to. So I think that maybe we can't really do a one-size-fits-all on this.
Right. So maybe if we incorporate an avenue that somebody like Harbor Freight could just go to and it could get produced and get on down the road, I think that would be beneficial, building that into the ordinance. This is primarily looking for somebody that wants to shut down the street. And I'm fine with that, like we had that event in front of PJ's Flowers.
So Andrew, if we come up with something like that, is that something that you and legal could get done within 2 weeks, or will you need more time than that?
I think we should be able to get it done in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, but
Look at legal's face.
yes, never mind.
Yeah, he's going on vacation, so maybe not.
Well, and then when he gets back, I'm going to go on vacation. So it may be the second meeting in December when we get that.
Okay, so this one might not show back up in 2 weeks, just so everyone's aware.
Do you see anything besides street shutdown? I mean, just for us talking about it. Do you see anything besides street shutdowns as something huge that you would want us to go and have a say-so in this?
Kyle Gandy, Development Director. So part of the purpose of this is to give visibility, but we have come across certain events that ordinance isn't correct for us to be able to, trying to say this nicely. The city needs a little bit more power in some instances to stop some events that could be dangerous to the public. This really boils down to public safety more than anything else. Allowing the council to help make those decisions when we're talking about things like renting personal pools. So I can give you a list of several items where
You mean like an individual homeowner is renting out their pool?
Yes,
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, so
Wow.
there are occasions where our hands are tied and we do our best, but ordinance doesn't address things clearly enough, and we find ourselves sort of navigating a hard situation where ultimately, if the council did deem that to be a worthy event, the council could approve that. But the way that ordinance is written, it's very difficult for us to navigate some of these situations. Street takeovers would be kind of another example of those things.
I can understand a
So-
street takeover. However, I'm concerned that we're adding more red tape, not necessarily needed. And I think we can streamline this a little better.
This conversation, just a little bit more background, this conversation started when we actually attended the Oklahoma City Commissioners, or council meeting, when we were there for the jail fight. And they had several events, and these were all large events. I think one of them was the Arts Festival. This isn't necessarily for those things that we can easily administratively allow. This is for those more contentious items that really needs council decision more than it needs.
I just don't want to see this extending into somebody wants to have a birthday party for their kid at their house.
That would
Let's
not-
just stay out of that
Oh,
business.
absolutely. No, this
Yeah.
is not for those instances.
We don't want to govern all that.
Director?
And it's just confusing right now, and I'm sorry, Scott. It's kind of confusing is that where does this stop? You know, as you said, you know, now we're talking about somebody's pool. So how does somebody know that, you know, hey, I'm gonna let, you know, some people will use the pool, I'm gonna charge them. Oh, wait, I need to go, how do they know that, wait, I need to go and get a permit?
I don't think we need to get between homeowners and what they're doing in their yard. I think that's not
Yeah,
appropriate.
so I think that, you know, if you can kind of keep this onto this thought of this part for, as it says, major events or block closures, or, you know, to actually make sure that we have a definition of exactly what this applies to.
Yeah, let's see.
And then if we miss some, maybe we come back and add it to the ordinance later and go, yeah, you know, we should have added that, you know, whenever you have a rodeo, that we need to have that, you know, rodeo at your personal house, that we need to put that in there.
I could understand this if you wanted to have a parade down Sunny Lane and close Sunny Lane. Yeah, I get that. Just keep it away from the homeowners. And I think we can write that and construct this in a manner that it doesn't
Certainly.
intrude on private parties on private property.
Certainly.
What would some of the contentious issues, like you said, what would those be?
Some of those would be, as an example, the street takeovers that happen in a large parking lot. You get a very large gathering of individuals where there's not a clear traffic control plan, there's not a clear understanding of who is in control of the situation, and our officers and our firefighters have to go in and quell a crowd that has gotten out of control because it was either misrepresented or we were not able to administratively prevent that event from happening. So this really is a matter of what we're trying to get at here is really the underlying is safety as our top priority. I can understand the red tape issue, but there's been several events where that's.
There are a few issues where I believe Director Gandy is going, where administratively they've checked all the boxes. So technically I should sign off, he should sign off, the city planner should sign off. But we have concerns outside of that the ordinance doesn't really give us the power to stop, address whatever without it looking problematic to us. This would give us some opportunity to be able to help with that.
Right, we're talking about rewriting this ordinance, and we could include some of that where the city manager or his designee could approve those without having to come to the council. I understand street closures and block closures and things like that perhaps should come to the council, but I think it could be written into the ordinance where the designees or the city manager could just simply approve those.
Right, the city manager and/or, yeah, and again, it's the city who gets to, you know, it's not the person who submitted the application gets to decide who it goes to.
Since
The city
we're-
manager says, and, you know, I got it.
Since we're constructing this, we could construct it so that the city manager can forego signing if it comes before him. He could say, well, I believe the council really needs to look at this. He could forward it to the council.
He could do that. We also, if we put the parameters in there, it can be denied, and we can put it in there. If an application is denied, it can be appealed to the council. So the council can still have final say on it.
Okay.
If staff's not comfortable with it, they just deny it. And
And
there's
then
and there's a
it can go
recourse
to
that comes to
council.
council.
I mean, I believe there's already enforcement mechanisms. Let's say you have a car show in a big parking lot, and they get a little rowdy and start doing donuts in the parking lot or in the street or whatever, or drifting. We still have the law enforcement.
What's
that
the
can come
problem
out.
there, Scott?
No, I mean, we still have enforcement for that, is that correct? I mean, does that have to be built into the ordinance saying that we have to enforce it a certain way?
I think PD has enough authority to handle drifting and
I don't think,
burnouts and.
I would agree with exactly what the mayor just said, that the ordinance doesn't need to address enforcement, it needs to address
Availability.
knowledge of the event that's going to be happening. What is there? Do we need to expect that?
Well, when you're having a great crowd, like some of these requests that's come in, you don't have the police personnel on shift
Do they
because
need
they're not
private
prepared
security?
for a crowd of 200 or 300 people having burnouts in parking lots where restaurants are. So then we become a manpower issue. So having this type of permit for bigger events like this would allow us to make sure that we have the personnel to manage these larger events.
Yeah, it ensures that they, they have,
So-
as part of their traffic control plan, that they have security, that they have barricades, that they have the right number of staff.
Right,
And
right.
if
But
it's a
city
pony
staff-
show, they have someone to clean up afterwards.
But city staff can assure that those things are addressed before the permit is issued, correct? Or not?
Yes, that is
Okay.
something that we can address, and it's something that yes.
Kyle, do we require them to have an insurance, like umbrella, for any of these events?
That's not one of the things that we ask for.
Might be something to look for.
Right. So we would be liable if something happened on
Well,
the city street.
We can do that if it's on city property, but
Okay.
it's going to be challenging to require them to have insurance on private property.
If it turns into a block closure and it's a city street, we could certainly do it.
And again, I think the real distinction here is between private property and city property. If they're trying to do city property, yes, 100% we can
We've
require
got some
that.
work to do on this. We've got,
Director Gandy, can you tell me,
Excuse me.
right, oh, I'm sorry, were you,
yeah.
go right ahead.
Why, thank you. So we're aiming this directly at public events on public property, not private property, with the exception of events like say, Trunk or Treat. That would be an event on private property, but still would be regulated through this permit.
Destiny
so-
Christian would be another example
Destiny
because of the large
Christian
number
show.
of people that come in.
Right.
Well, so I think that, to go back to what the original intent of this was, if they're going to use their property, go back to Harbor Freight for the example, if they're going to use their property that's different than their daily use, if they're going to have a sidewalk sale, I don't think there's any problem with making them come in and get a permit.
So a sidewalk sale wouldn't be applicable, but a parking lot sale would, is
Yeah.
my understanding, the way it was presented.
Yes, and I don't think there's any problem with that. I think that if we can narrowly tailor it so that there can be administrative approval of it, I think that the biggest concern on that's going to be if it takes a month to get approval, that's probably not the intent of the council.
Exactly.
But again, I think we can narrowly tailor this to try to fit different specific events.
We can do a little bit more work. This is not imminent that we have to have something in the next week or two, and obviously you're going on vacation, he's going on vacation, so we've got time to do some consideration, and perhaps if anybody wants to add anything to this, there's plenty of time to bring up more conversation.
Did the outline of this come from another city like Oklahoma City, like you saw?
Yes, so Oklahoma City was used as an outline. We did not take it word for word, but Oklahoma City was used.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Could I suggest us to bring it back for discussion again, since we would be adding some things instead
Slightly.
of just for,
Slightly
workshop
polished
it.
and
Yeah.
adding some authority to the city manager.
yes.
Does any applicant have to go before their council before these things are approved? Or does their city manager or staff approve certain things, short of closing a street down?
In Oklahoma City, I can speak on that at least because I did look at that. They do go to council.
For a major event?
Yes, sir.
Not a parking lot sale?
No, sir.
Thank you. All right, we got a little polishing to do. If there's no other is there any other discussion?
Yes, I just wanted to ask, and I think it was already answered. The certain things that we do already have, like Destiny Christian and the fireworks show, our parade, the Townsend Tiger Trot. I'm trying to think of other things that currently happen. Do they right now have to have a permit?
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? I'll entertain a motion to close the public discussion.
Motion to close?
Second.
We had a motion and a second. Any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. The discussion is now closed. We are moving on to item number 10, executive session. Discussion, consideration, possible action to approve recessing to executive session pursuant to the Oklahoma Open Meeting Act 25 OS 301 for the purpose of the following. Item A is discussion concerning confidential matters pertaining to pending investigations, claims, and actions pursuant to 25 OS 307B4, as the council, on the advice of its attorney, has determined that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the council to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation or litigation in the public interest. Item B is discussion concerning the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, discipline, or resignation of any individual, salaried public officer, or employee, including but not limited to the city manager pursuant to 25 OS 307B1. Mr. City Attorney, do these items meet the qualifications for executive session?
Yes, I do, Mr. Mayor.
I'll entertain a motion to recess to executive session.
Make a motion to recess to executive session?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. We are now recessed to executive session.
Motion to resume from the executive session.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. We are now back at item number 11, action from executive session. Excuse me. Discussion, consideration, possible action deemed appropriate, if any, arising from discussions held in executive session concerning the confidential matters pertaining to pending investigations, claims, and actions, as the council, on the advice of its attorney, has determined that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the council to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation or litigation in the public interest. Authorize mayor to execute any documents necessary related to the pending investigations, claims, and actions. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to proceed as discussed, authorize the mayor to execute any documents necessary related to the pending investigations, claims, and actions.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. The motion carries. Move on to 11B. Discussion, consideration, and possible action deemed appropriate, if any, arising from discussions held in executive session concerning matters pertaining to the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, discipline, or resignation of any individual salaried employee, including but not limited to the city manager. Do I hear a motion? Take no action. Oh. Proceed as discussed. Is that the motion? Who made it?
Proceed as discussed. Jody
Second.
can't make a motion.
Second.
JD can't make a motion. Is that Pam Finch that did that?
Yep,
Who's the second?
I am. Second.
Councilman Dean. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. The motion carries. Item number 12 is additional council input. Is there any council input?
If anybody wants to climb up on the 50-foot bucket truck to go and hang the Christmas tree up,
Are you doing that again
I'm
this
going
year?
to do that again. Yep.
Well, that's
So-
pretty admirable. I got to hand it to you, Michael. That's very adult.
Yeah?
Are
But
you
I've
all-
worked off of a 50-foot boom. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Okay.
Are you all interested in a study session Thursday at 11 o'clock?
This Thursday?
Yes.
I'll be out of town.
Okay.
The 20th.
Hang on a second. Let me look at Thursday.
I know Wednesday was out for everybody, so we couldn't have put one on today, but
Are you
there's a-
talking about Wednesday, the 19th,
No, we're talking about this Thursday, this coming up Thursday, the 20th.
the 20th? You and I have an appointment at 2:30 that
Yes.
day. Are you talking about in the morning or after?
11,
At 11?
at the 11 o'clock hour.
I'm okay with it. Anybody else? At 11? Let's put this together another time. We don't have to do this right
Okay,
now.
that's
Let's back up, and we will
Yeah.
allow the city manager to contact us, and that's something we can settle. We don't have to settle that on the
Yeah.
horseshoe. It's late. Item number 13.
Motion adjourned.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Take the vote. Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Tatum.
Aye.
Councilman Brown.
Aye.
Councilman Finch.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. We are now adjourned.